Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman.
And I'm Trenton Whiting. The city of Refugio is looking for a new police chief, according to a report from the Refugio County Press. The local paper reports the former police chief, Enrique Diaz, has resigned while he's currently involved in a state-level investigation. His resignation was effective July 25th after 19 years of service with the police department. The city named Peter Silvas as the interim chief on July 28th. While details surrounding his resignation haven't been released, Diaz has been involved in an investigation by Texas Rangers into written complaints about him. So far, the city says it has not gotten any updates from the Texas Rangers, but they've already begun the search for a new police chief. We've reached out to Mayor Wanda Dukes, hopefully to learn the next steps of their chief search, and any current information, we're still waiting to hear back.
Now, beef prices are higher than ever from the ranch to the grocery store. Experts at Texas A&M says it's because there aren't as many cows in the U.S., but people still want a lot of beef. Drought across Texas and other states made it hard for ranchers to grow their herds. And the southern border is close to livestock trade from Mexico due to screwworms concerns. The number of U.S. cattle is slowly going up, but prices for calves are still breaking records. Ranchers are feeding cattle to heifers weights to help, but there's still less beef overall. The USDA says cattle and calf production is worth more than $83 billion this year. Ranchers say the high prices are helping after years of tough drought and high cost. And that'll lead us to your viewer poll this evening. We want to know, are rising beef prices changing your family meals? Yes, we eat less beef. No, meals stay the same, and we have switched to other meats. And so far, which is still in the lead at 59%, is yes, we eat less beef. I need to be just like them.
Yeah, I mean, right.
I need to be in that 59%.
Chicken's good.
Chicken is good, but I feel like we need to. You want to eat healthy, you know.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But yeah, but we still love to hear from you. You can just come over to our website at crossroadstoday.com, or you can scan that QR code right there to take part. And thanks to those for voting.
Victoria ISD is saying goodbye to one of its long-term leaders. Deputy Superintendent Randy Meyer will retire at the end of this month, closing out a career in education that began more than 30 years ago. Meyer has worn many hats at VISD, serving as Chief Financial Officer, Deputy Superintendent, and even Interim Superintendent. He also oversaw major projects, including the construction of the new Mission Valley Elementary School, which was finished on time and under budget. At last week's school board meeting, trustees honored Meyer with a plaque, recognizing his leadership, mentorship, and dedication. Leaders say his impact will continue to shape the district for years to come.
Now let's go to Jacob Lozano with a first look at our forecast. Jacob, it has been hot today. I feel like it's been more than 100 degrees, Jacob. But can you give us any update on how the weather is going to be looking for this week and school week?
Amaya, you're actually correct. We actually got to 101, so we were above 100 degrees for today. We were at 101 for our high, 5 degrees above normal, which is our average of 96, but 4 degrees off of the record of 105 in 1951. That's from that high pressure that is up in the Oklahoma region right now that has been building our heat, but it is moving out towards the west. It's been throwing a couple little showers out towards up northern Texas as well. But once that begins to slide out more west, it's actually going to open up some opportunity for some rain chances to pick up here. But until then, it's going to be another hot day. We're looking at 109 for the heat index for tomorrow, coming back down to 105, and by Thursday and Friday, it'll be relatively closer to the triple digits, close to high 90s for the heat index. But we're going to be talking about the rain chances, plus we're going to be looking at Hurricane Erin coming up in the full weather report. Amaya, Trenton.
Thank you, Jacob. And while we're speaking about Hurricane Erin, it was the first Atlantic hurricane of the 2025 season, and it briefly reached Category 5 strength before weakening to a Category 3 storm with maximum sustained winds of 125 miles per hour.
And forecasters say the storm will likely stay well away from the East Coast, but dangerous currents are likely. Here's ABC's Olivia Rubin with the details.
Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands are being hit with strong winds and heavy rains as Erin, the first Atlantic hurricane of the 2025 season, churns offshore. The storm had quickly reached Category 5 strength on Saturday before weakening overnight. Wind speeds may have decreased, but Erin has grown in size. And while it is forecast to stay out in the Atlantic, Erin's effects will still be felt along the East Coast. ABC's Morgan Norwood is on New York's Manhattan Beach.
Though there's no U.S. landfall, rip currents are the big risk with the storm, with lifeguards up and down the East Coast on high alert.
On Horseneck Beach in Massachusetts, lifeguards are prepared.
We're looking to see some rip currents. We've heard anywhere from 8 to 10 feet on a given day next week. So with that big surf is going to come the rip currents.
Some beachgoers say they'll still enjoy the beach, but will likely stay out of the water.
Personally, I'm not a really strong swimmer, so if there was anything like that, I would not be in the water.
If you do go for a swim and get caught in one of those rip currents, lifeguards say don't panic and offer this advice.
The best bet is swim parallel to shore. Do not try to go directly back to shore. You're going to be fighting the current. You're going to get tired.
Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
A new migrant processing and detention center opened today at Fort Bliss in El Paso. The ICE facility, called Camp East Montana, can initially hold up to 1,000 detainees, with plans to expand to 5,000, making it one of the largest in the country. The project is expected to cost more than $1 billion. Officials say the center will only house single adults, not families or children, while they await deportation or transfer. Federal leaders say the complex will help speed up the removal process for those not eligible to stay in the U.S.
There are two very different stories tonight after masked federal agents opened fire on a San Bernardino family's vehicle. Homeland Security says Border Patrol agents tried stopping the car during a targeted operation, but cell phone video shows agents smashing windows as the trucks sped off, then 3 gunshots. Officials claim the shots were fired in self-defense, saying the driver tried to run agents down, but the family insists the men never showed ID or a warrant. Police confirmed a shooting happened, but what started it is still unclear.
The Victoria County Commissioner Court will meet Monday morning at 10 a.m. The meeting takes place at 115 North Bridge Street in room 241. On the agenda, commissioners will talk about the upcoming November special election, a drainage project along Old Highway Road in Precinct 4, and a lease agreement between the county and the Victoria Masters Garden Association. Leaders say several other county businesses items will also be discussed.
Since Democratic lawmakers left Texas to delay Republicans' new map, state leaders have challenged the limits of traditional Democratic norms to break the impasse. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website at crossroadstoday.com.
Now on to Don Brubaker is still on the move in Great Northwest, this time visiting a museum about some historic explorers. Now let's check in with Don.
Hi again, everybody. We remain in Montana. We overlook the beautiful Missouri River, and today we are at the Lewis and Clark National Historic Trail Interpretive Center. Now, as we walked in, they raised the American flag. That was a great honor for the 5 military veterans in our group. It's overlooking the beautiful Missouri River. The center includes artifacts, films, and a 2-story diorama. After lunch, we visited First Peoples Buffalo Jump State Park, a fascinating archaeological site and presumably the largest bison cliff jump in North America. We learned about the rich history of these lands and enjoyed views of the Rocky Mountain front and Missouri River Valley. And here we are with one of our great friends from Victoria, Joseph Halapaska, a military veteran. So how proud were you to see that American flag being raised this morning here?
It's great. It really is. Need a lot more stuff for veterans.
Yeah, they do. Very good, Joseph. Thank you. And we'll continue the trip tomorrow. Reporting from the Lewis and Clark Museum in Montana, I'm Don Brubaker, KAVU TV 25 News Now.
For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. And don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrain and Parker Cox will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can also submit a local military hero so we can recognize them.
More National Guard troops could soon be on the way to Washington, D.C., but not everyone is on board. More details coming up.
Well, on Friday night, I said there was going to be a 10% chance of some rain, and there it is, right there east of Jackson County with 1/10 of an inch. But rain chances are going to be going up. We'll be talking about that coming in the full weather report.
Welcome back. Just days after sitting down with Russian President Putin, President Trump will welcome Ukrainian President Zelensky and other European leaders to the White House tomorrow. During that high-stakes summit with Trump, Putin made demands for territory that Ukraine is not likely to agree to.
Zelensky has been pushing for a trilateral meeting involving the U.S., Ukraine, and Russia to try to bring an end to this war, and has called for U.S. sanctions against Russia if such a meeting doesn't happen. Here's ABC's Alex Perche with the details from the White House.
Volodymyr Zelensky is set to meet with President Trump Monday in the Oval Office.
In order for us to get a peace agreement, Ukraine has to be a part of it. They have to be included. They have to be involved. That's why the president called them on the phone immediately after we got on the airplane. Within an hour, he talked to them for long periods of time. That's why President Zelensky will be traveling to Washington tomorrow, along with several European leaders as well, to continue to work on this.
His visit coming just days after that summit between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Ahead of that meeting, President Trump had vowed to push Putin for an immediate ceasefire and for a trilateral meeting with Zelensky, warning of severe economic consequences if the Russian leader did not cooperate. The Trump administration calling for a so-called peace agreement, and it says it's not planning any sanctions as of now. Russia already occupies 1/5 of Ukraine's territory. Sources tell ABC News that during the summit, Putin demanded Ukraine give up the entire Donetsk region in the Donbass in exchange for halting offenses elsewhere and further attacks.
Russia right now is trying to achieve diplomatically what they cannot achieve militarily. They are not able to take the rest of the Donbass and haven't been able to do so in the last 3+ years.
In 1995, the U.S., Russia, and the U.K. pledged to respect Ukraine's independence, sovereignty, and existing borders and offered security assurances. That pledge was broken in 2014 when Russia occupied Crimea and other parts of the east, and it was broken again when the war began 3.5 years ago.
Russia is still unsuccessful in Donetsk region. Putin has been unable to take it for 12 years, and the constitution of Ukraine makes it impossible to give up territory or trade land. So far, Russia gives no sign that trilateral will happen.
Zelensky says if Russia refuses, U.S. sanctions must follow. The administration believes that if they were to place sanctions, conversations would halt. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
An Illinois ice cream shop owner is now facing felony child pornography charges. Stephen Weisberg was in court Saturday. Police confirmed that Weisberg is the owner of this Frozen Frenzy ice cream shop in Addison. He is charged with, among other things, unauthorized video recording of a minor with a device placed in a public place. Addison police could not confirm details yet about how long the illegal video recordings had allegedly been going on, and it's unclear how many victims there may be. A sign at Flavor Frenzy says the shop is now closed. Weisberg was scheduled for a court hearing Sunday.
Next tonight, more National Guard troops are heading to Washington, D.C. West Virginia is expected to send troops soon. 2 other Republican-led states, Ohio and South Carolina, may join them.
It comes as President Trump is cracking down on crime in the city, deploying 800 National Guard troops in the nation's capital. But city leaders and others are now pushing back. Here's ABC with more.
Tonight, a significant escalation on the streets of the nation's capital. 350 more citizen soldiers expected to arrive from West Virginia in the coming days, bringing the number of National Guard members to 1,126. On the streets today, mixed sentiment about the mission.
I think it's pretty ridiculous, honestly.
I think it's good. I feel safe.
2 other Republican-led states, Ohio and South Carolina, also offering to send troops. Democrats calling it a manufactured crisis.
Crime in D.C. is at a 30-year low and a downward trajectory. So this is all an opportunity for Donald Trump to play dictator in Washington, D.C.
Trump must go now!
And this weekend, hundreds taking to the streets to protest.
Get off our streets!
Some residents shouting at officers making stops. Federal marshals, members of the ATF, as well as ICE also assisting D.C. police. The city's mayor in a letter to residents vowing to defend Washington, D.C.'s autonomy.
What we want to do is make sure that this federal surge is useful to us. And that's what the chief has been very, very good in working with the federal leadership in accomplishing.
That police chief secure in her job, at least for now. On Friday, the DOJ agreeing to scale back efforts to take over the city's police force after a federal judge raised concerns.
A hostile takeover of our police force is not going to happen. Now, up to this point, troops here in D.C. have been unarmed, but officials say that could change in the coming days. In past deployments ordered by President Trump, National Guard troops have, in fact, carried their weapons. Mola Lengi, ABC News, Washington.
The U.S. is suspending visitor visas for people from Gaza. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the move comes after evidence showed some visa sponsors may have ties to terror groups like Hamas. He didn't provide further details, but Trump ally Laura Loomer is taking credit for the pause, claiming families from Gaza pose a national security threat. She's also targeted an American nonprofit called Heal Palestine, which brings injured and malnourished children to the U.S. for medical care. The group says it's not a resettlement program and criticized the suspension.
Experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus.
Well, Hurricane Erin is no longer a Category 3. It is now back to a Category 4 with 130-mile-per-hour winds. We're going to be talking about it coming up after this. Well, Crossroads, let's start talking about the tropics again. We have Hurricane Erin was a Category 5, Category 4, then Category 3. Now it's ramping back up again here as a Category 4 now with 130-mile-per-hour sustained winds. So that's what it is, and it's gusting at 160 there. 157 is what makes it a Category 5. But, I mean, look at that monstrosity right there. You can see the deep areas of pink. We're on the stronger side of the storm. We got tropical storm warnings there over at these islands over here, and well, it's going to continue strengthening here. We're going to be going up to 130 continuously here for the next couple of hours. By Tuesday, we should be getting back to the Category 3 range, and then we got to make sure and watch to see where the trajectory of this goes. It is looking like the high pressure is going to be steering it in between Bermuda and along the coastline of the East Coast. But if we get a little bit farther left, we could be seeing a little bit of stronger winds, maybe some tropical storm winds there along the Carolina coastline. But nonetheless, storm surge is going to be an issue. High winds, high waves, especially along this track. So something that we're going to just continue to monitor here. And here's what the future winds are going to be looking like here. There's the scale up there. It's going to be continue to be tracking there till about Tuesday. They're keeping at that Category 4 strength, but tons of warm water there. I mean, look at that. 85 degrees is where it's at right now, and it'll continue to track there. Getting close to 87, close to 90-degree water is what that buoy is saying for the temperature right now. So it's still got a lot of favor to continue to walk with here. But if we can jump back to our place, we actually got rain chances in our forecast here. Tomorrow morning, we'll be waking up to a little bit of cloud cover. It'll be burning off, but then we get those daytime heating showers popping up around the Crossroads region, mainly closer to the Houston area. But we're going to continue to see these rain chances actually increase because we have that high pressure starting to move out of here towards the west. And that actually, allows showers and thunderstorms to pop up here for us without that cap over us. But we're going to be watching this outflow boundary here Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m. That's going to be out towards Houston. It'll be pushing down towards the south here. So something to watch here for Tuesday at 2 p.m. is more showers and the thunderstorms associated with some of these cells as they push down. But that's just not it. We got, Tuesday afternoon there, 5 p.m., more shower activity continuing here for Wednesday at 5 p.m. And then Thursday, we actually have another push of an outflow boundary that's going to be pushing down south here from those mid-upper level winds from the high pressure steering it down towards Victoria. So 2 a.m. we could see that, as well as 5 p.m. we'll have those daytime heating showers and thunderstorms popping up here. And we'll see that once again with another push of shower activity for the week. So rain chances are possible all week, especially in the afternoon time. So something to keep in mind, especially when you go pick up the kids, we could see some showers pop up. But tomorrow, get it close to 100 degrees for the high with partly cloudy skies, 20% chance of rain here in the afternoon time for us. Port Lavaca is seeing mostly sunny skies, getting to 97, as well as Cuero keeping it 20% chance of rain. Could see closer to the 100-degree mark there in Cuero as well. But I think we're going to be hitting 100, 101, maybe 102 for us here, keeping it at 20%. Then the rain chances return for us, keeping it right around 50 to 40% of scattered showers and thunderstorms. So something to watch out for there. Now, don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports. And speaking of sports, we got Ray.
Thank you, Jacob. The Louise Hornets, Victoria West Warriors, and Tidehaven Tigerettes all made big moves this weekend in their respective tournaments. So stay tuned for the recap. The Louise Hornets volleyball team is a squad looking to make some noise this season. Their message was made loud and clear after an impressive performance at this last weekend's tournament. At the Yorktown tournament, the Hornets emerged as victorious and remained undefeated with an overall record of 8-0. A feat that was far from easy yesterday. The Hornets played 3 matches. They first swept Faith Academy from Victoria, followed by a series sweep against Ganado in the championship game. They then faced Sacred Heart from Hallettsville in a tough 3-game series that the Hornets ultimately won. And the Victoria West Warriors also had a strong showing in their respected tournament this past weekend, competing in Columbus in the school's volleyball tournament. The Warriors captured first place for the 2nd year in a row. On Saturday, they swept Schulenburg and followed that up with another series sweep against the St. Joseph Lady Flyers, a team that they also faced in the tournament opener. Standout players include Bella Buzzle, Emily Parker, Morgan Ulbrich. They were all named to the all-tournament team. This team went undefeated this weekend, so a big congratulations to the Warriors. And another Crossroads team with tournament success was the Tidehaven Tigerettes. The Tigerettes competed in Van Vleck this past weekend as a part of their respected volleyball tournament. They showcased their talent by sweeping teams like Van Vleck and Wharton. They then beat Palacios in a 3-game series to advance to the finals, where they unfortunately fell in a series sweep to 4A powerhouse Sweden. And Crossroads Volleyball is here in the area, and it's alive, and it looks well, and teams performing. It only looks to get better. So I wanted to ask you guys in the Crossroads, which volleyball team are you the most excited about after their recent performance? And it looks like, you know, the spirit of Victoria is alive and well with 83%, 10% talking about industrial, and 7% is others. So we could possibly say, you know, potential of Goliad or other teams like that that are looking to make a run for the state championship. But it's always great to see some Victoria West spirit alive and well. And their next tournament is later on this week, and I believe they're rumored to compete in the Tidehaven tournament. But as always, make sure you stay updated on KAVU, where myself or Max will continue to keep you updated. But before we dive into some Astros talk, let's highlight a recent jersey honor on Saturday. The team retired Billy Wagner's number 13 jersey. This tribute follows his induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame on July 27th. Wagner, a 7-time MLB All-Star pitcher, played for the Astros from 1995 to 2003 before finishing his career with the Braves in 2010. With this honor, he becomes the 10th Astros player to have his jersey retired. But the current Astros today didn't have any good luck against the Baltimore Orioles. This was the deciding game of the series after the Astros secured a nail-biting victory in Game 2, but today was a different story. Despite some defensive plays like the one you're about to see here from Jesus Sanchez leaping for that grab, Baltimore just seemed to have the Astros number. The Orioles outscored with double-digit runs, winning the game decisively with a final score of 12-0. The Astros will begin their series against the Detroit Tigers tomorrow at 5:40 p.m. But that does it for your sports. Amaya and Trenton.
Okay, thank you, Ray, for the sports knowledge. Now, Star Trek turned 60, and fans are getting brand new action figures, including some rare characters you might not expect. Coming up. Is celebrating its 60th anniversary with new action figures. The franchise first launched in 1966. The Nacelle Company, who now has the right to produce toys and playsets, planned on a number release. The first set will feature rare characters such as Peter Preston and Valkyries. Future waves will showcase favorite like Kirk, Spock, and Captain Janeway. I don't know nothing about the action figures. Fans can expect even more release leading up to 2026.
Yeah, I was more of a Star Wars type of
really?
person.
I agree, Star Wars. I don't know nothing about them.
Sorry to all the Star Trek fans.
I don't know, I feel bad.
I mean, it's nothing against the Star Trek fans. I just feel like nothing is better than Star Wars. Sorry.
I'm staying out of it because they can get crazy.
Oh, you're right. I forgot. I'm so sorry, you guys. Well, let's go over to the weather. Jacob, how it's going to be because it's been hot.
It's been hot. It's going to continue
alert.
to stay hot. We're going to see another 100-degree day here for us here tomorrow. 98 there Tuesday as the high pressure moves out west. Rain chances continue to increase. So we're keeping it pretty scattered for the next 7 days, which is going to be quite nice. A little bit of a break, but temperatures actually cool down here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as we await an inverted trough, which is a mid-upper level low that'll help cool us down a little bit, but keep the rain chances in play. So
yeah.
Seeing a lot of raindrops in that graphic there.
Yep.
It's like every time more rain comes, it gets hotter. Like the
humidity
picks up. Yeah, it just be so bad.
Yeah, so sea breeze
yeah.
showers.
But thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Carolina Estrain and Parker Cox for 25 News Now Sunrise at 5 a.m.
Have a great night.